and who else? A few others who have come
The
out.
Gen Zs, they call something, the short form of delusion, they call it Delulu.
Delulu.
They said, Delulu is the Solulu. So just be dreaming of it. But again, one here on the Minerals Commission rejecting Kakum Park mining proposal.
Crosby?
Well, the big story on the Daybreak newspaper, Bawumia rallies Akotoa Dynamo for campaign. Comes to the pictures of the aspirants as well as the flag bearer of the NPP. There's Navy to partner zipline for drone operations. Coming up, Mistrust hits NDC Good Governance card and Trust Link with Fifi, created the General Secretary of the party, saying. There's also Dr. Nick Danso clinches Entrepreneur of the Year again. There's a story on page 2 of the Anchor newspaper, but on the front page, it is woman paralyzed after midwife administers wrong injection. 29-year-old pharmacist sues the VRA hospital for negligence. If you read the story, listen to the details. Very, very sad. Wrong injection after a CS section,
Medical
and then
negligence.
she's paralyzed and now she has lost her memory.
Oh,
yeah, that's bad. There's
when did that happen?
That happened. So the story says that. How it started was on October 31. That's how the narration started. Visited the VRA Health Services at Abuadze to deliver her baby through cesarean section. The CS was completed and the plaintiff was billed to go home. But according to the plaintiff, before she could be discharged, she needed to be given another antigen D injection as part of the treatment plan. But unfortunately, the midwife on duty, whose name was given only as Doris, negligently administered IM Atracurium 50 mg instead of the antigen D hemoglobin injection, and now she has the side effects according to severe memory loss,
oh my goodness,
seizure, intermittent contortion, no speech both in form and content, poor memory affecting both short and long term, mostly short. Others, it added deformity and weakness, needing wheelchair, a gaping and horrific wound around her back or her buttocks where the injection was applied, whatever it is. Very, very sad. There's also a story about.
I hope that we get some legal action there.
Well, yes, the husband has sued the hospital. I understand for 17 million cedis. In the story yesterday,
17 million is not even enough because look at what you have done.
What price do you pay for memories?
Yes.
You can't get us for memories. What you can't pay any amount for that.
You can't pay. Even Abiam these days when he sells memory cards.
Well, let me finish with the top stories on the front page of the Anchor newspaper. Kakum Park mining application rejected as Minerals Commission removes bid from online mining. Ellen, you pronounce this word for us. There's also
I'm not sure. CADASTR mining cadastre. Thank you, John. Cadastre.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, so mining what Johnny pronounced.
Cadastre.
Are you who will say cadastre?
Cadastre. New word of the day.
The person says, President Oturofu.
Speaking of the president, and since you guys agree that he's looking so good here, he's still talking about the crisis as far as the dam spillage is concerned and what exactly he's going to deal with it, because he says we'll deal with it. But President Akufo-Addo says the government is developing a comprehensive plan that will deal with the challenges of water spillage once and for all. Okay, he's talking about long-term solutions. He explained that the plan being put together by the Interministerial Committee would ensure that any further spillage would not result in the destruction of lives and property. I'm quoting him here. He says, I'm particularly concerned about the problem with the spillage and its effect on the people. The Interministerial Committee have been established to look into the problem evolving with the spillage, he added.
You see, I've always said that in terms of crisis management, you put together the team, they assess the risk, right? And then they put together a plan, they implement the plan, and then if there's the additions or subtractions, they do that, and then they come back and again. So now the team is they have gone to assess the risk, they are putting together a plan, and the people are still in the water. We are not disaster radio. And the president is talking about a futuristic thing. You remember that the president, when there was an earth tremor around the Wejak-Bawe area, not the recent one, previously.
That's right.
He asked that we prepare a national emergency response plan. Is he suggesting to us by this statement that within that national emergency response plan, there was nothing for dam spillage? Because we know that the Bagri Dam is always spilled every now and then.
That's right.
And we have known per history that this is not the first time the Akosombo Dam has been spilled. The question is, why are we facing this level of damage? All right, it's calamitous, and people's livelihoods, their lives, their memories, everything has been washed away. His first approach when he went there and the statement he made was in very bad taste. This is supposed to redeem his image, but he has already messed up his image. You are the father for the nation. People's homes have been washed away. Children cannot go to school. Health professionals cannot go to work. People's farms, their dams, entrepreneurs, all of that. And you go there and say, if it had meant, or if it had been for those who had voted for me or didn't vote for me, I wouldn't have been here. Who paid you and the fuel that you used and the helicopter that you used to the place to come and stand there between your left hand and the chiefs? Somebody must tell the president in the face. It's people that do not like us telling him when he does some of these things. But what he did then, his handlers got it wrong. He himself got it wrong. It was in very bad taste. Mind you, he never cut short his trip abroad.
That's right.
He came back, took his per diem with all the people who followed him. They all took their per diem. They traveled in the best of the planes. They went to party out there. And then they came back after the thing, wore a winter jacket to go and stand by the people to tell them in the heat that even who didn't vote for him, who had not voted. What are you talking about?
Johnny, it's a winter jacket?
Yes, it was. Or you didn't see that. That's it. Don't get your winter jacket look alike. You didn't see
it was black.
Yeah, but his was black. I said his was brown. Okay. Palato, good morning to you. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the people of the dam spillage affected areas still need our help. So before we go today, we'll keep plugging the numbers, how you can support.
2024 budget comes up. What are you expecting?
Well, I
do you want to sing Kasama?
Ideally, like all of us, like every single Ghanaian on this planet, I'd love to see that taxes have been reduced. Some of the taxes that we don't know what their purposes are, maybe COVID tax, put aside, because I'm not sure what we're still doing with that. I know that we need money, of course. We don't have much as a country, but I would like to hear some relief for the citizenry. We've been asked to tighten belts, bed and share, but from where I sit consistently, it looks like the average Joe, you and I, we are the ones bearing the brunt. So I would love for this particular budget reading to also show clearly that some of that brunt is being borne by officialdom, by government. I want to see massive reduction and slashes in government salary. I want the president to have his salary for...
Crosby, what do you say?
Well, when Helen was talking about bed and share, you remember that Parliament had plans to go to Walter Serene Hotel.
Yeah. Not Walter Serene, Rock City.
Yes, Rock City.
Sika says, you lie bad. You want to go to Nkochia to go and chill? How?
Yes, well, bad Parliament or blocked Parliament from holding the post-budget workshop at Rock City. I think that's a good thing.
Then I want the budget's perfect. Then tomorrow is every other engagement that was slated for some type of destination, either international, has been cut, and we are all every meeting now will be out of. We'll put on the AC for you. Sit down, cool with your notebook. We'll do it here.
For me, you remember government announced sometime in May 2020 last year that we were cutting down the salaries of all appointees by 30%.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I recall.
30%. And then the Council of State came and said, we're going to give you 20% of our allowances. Now, if I were the government, I would have set up a dedicated account, put that money in there, and then even I could have used that for this dam spillage, and then win back some kind of goodwill. I don't know who advises the government.
That's a good idea, because tangibly you'll be able to see.
To measure.
Yes.
Then you say, follow the money. We have not been able to do that. Now, we're going to read a budget and then maybe possibly impose some more taxes or increase the rates of the taxes.
Don't say that.
Right? It's possible, because we are in a very difficult moment. The government has still not cut down the size of its machinery. Right? So we have ministers, we have deputy ministers. We say we don't have deputy regional ministers, but you go to the regions and the PAs of the ministers are driving the vehicles of the supposed deputy ministers who are not available, and they're using their offices and all of that. So we are literally spending the same thing, only that we don't have figureheads who are there representing. So if the government says we are burden sharing and we are in this together, how exactly are we in this together?
We're not in this together.
We certainly are not in this together. And we would expect that this budget, for example, will reflect the tone of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He's the head of the economic management team. He is still the head of the economic management team as vice president. He says that he has a rescue plan. He has a new plan to take us out of this. Remember, before this budget, we have had the Asempa budget. We have had the Impuntuo budget. We have had the Ejuma budget. We have had the Ajinkwa budget. You are the Akan here.
Yes.
Ajinkwa means what?
Savior.
Thank you. Dr. Bawumia says he's coming to save us. So his Ajinkwa budget of old couldn't save us. This one that he and the finance minister and all the members of the economic management team plus the IMF have put together to Parliament, that is what will save us.
Ajinkwa Pro Max.
Now, you know also that the excise tax, for example, on beverages, including sweetened alcoholic beverages that are not produced there, you know that the taxes have kicked in, even for water.
Oh boy.
Even for snuff, even for tobacco. They have all, even for petition, they have all kicked in. So the average Joe who may have a problem, who says, challenge, I want to wind down small, listen to a coffee, I have a chilled bottle of something, that one has also gone up. So what exactly are we talking about?
I think the expectations are very high of the finance minister tomorrow, but clearly we know that almost all of us will be disappointed.
In the meantime, our friend.
Na sabe yunkura sesam obi ka brofo a akwadi wo yade o akufo ade ba afoforo no who see na president ka brofo ene ene